Blessings and welcome to the Path to Freedom. My name is Daniel Roquillo, and as always, I'm deeply grateful and honored to have you join me, that you're choosing to tune in for a moment of expanding our consciousness and allowing for ever greater and grander expressions of who and what we are to emerge, of us allowing for the peace and the love and the joy and the harmony and the abundance and the wholeness that is fully present in every single moment, that is always eternally inherent within every single one of us, to come forth, to flow through us in ever expanding ways. So that is why we're here, and that is what the Path to Freedom is all about. And so today, let's talk about I forgot. Oh, that's right. Let's talk about how every single moment is a new beginning. If you've tuned in before, you've probably heard me say that a bunch of times. I say it a lot, that every single moment is a new beginning, a fresh start, a possibility for us to begin anew, a possibility for us to move on into a new direction, to choose a new direction, to make new choices, to make higher choices. So every single moment is a starting point, a new beginning. And as easy as that may be to believe, or to know and to feel actually, as hard it can be to understand and to know and feel. And so I want to take this opportunity to seek to illustrate this in a different way. This illustration came to me a few days ago, and I thought I'd share with all of you. So let's say that our lives are like a car drive. We're out driving our cars, and we're going from one point to another, to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next, on an eternal journey. So this is not a car ride that has a beginning and an end, but this is an eternal adventure. And so this is an eternal journey, an ever-expanding car ride or journey of more and more and more good flowing into our lives, a greater and greater adventure. So that's the kind of ride that this is. It's an amazing ride. So imagine driving your car, and let's say that you are on a very, very wide road, and there's only you driving. There are no other cars on this road, on this particular road at this time. So you're driving, and perhaps you're having the feeling tone that you're not really liking where you're going. You're not enjoying the scenery. You're not enjoying the experiences that pass by your window. Now, as you're driving, would you agree that at any point you have the opportunity, you have the choice available to you to sort of turn your steering wheel? And it doesn't have to be a large turn. You don't have to swerve, just slightly turn it. Would you agree that this is so? In any given moment, we have this opportunity, we have this available, we have this choice available to us to slightly turn the steering wheel. And would you agree that as we turn the steering wheel, no matter how slightly, that the direction of the car will change? We will no longer be going in the same direction as we used to go, right? And this is exactly how it is with life. That in any given moment, we have the freedom, we have the possibility to make a slightly different choice, to make a new choice, to begin doing things in a slightly different way or a completely different way. And as we do, the trajectory of our lives, the direction of our lives will change. And as our life is an eternal journey, even the slightest little change in direction, when we alter our course, just, minuscule, in the long run, from a higher perspective, we're gonna wind up in a completely different space than from where we were headed. Like if we are in our car and we would be on this, it's a very straight and wide road. It's completely straight. If I were to just turn my steering wheel 1 degree, I mean, how much is that really? 1 degree is like turning it all the way around, that's 360 degrees. But I'm turning it 1 degree. 1 degree. So it's this tiny little change. If I was to go on this road, if I was to drive on this road for, let's say, 2 days, would we be in agreement that if there was a final destination, that my final destination, as I have turned my steering wheel 1 degree, would be ways apart from where I originally was headed, right? So this is not the secret, but it's a beautiful gem of life. It's a beautiful tool that we can lean into. That every single new choice that we make, every single time that we choose differently from what we may perhaps habitually have been choosing, our lives begin to change. We're moving in a new direction. So it is in this sense that every single moment truly is a new beginning. If we allow it, if we give it permission to, because it is up to us. Our lives are not going to change unless we begin to change. We can seek to manipulate, and we can perhaps temporarily, through that manipulation, give rise to external changes. But if we want lasting changes, if we want changes that are permanent, it is up to us to do the inner work necessary to begin to change. So we need to look at ourselves, we need to look at the choices that we're making and sort of gauge and become aware of which of these, out of all the choices that I'm making on any given day, in any given moment, which of these are serving me? Which of these are in alignment with who I want to be, with where I want to go in life, with what I want my life to be about? And so we become aware of these choices, and awareness is the first step in the transformation process. Then comes willingness, so we become aware of the choices that we're making. We begin to identify which choices perhaps are not in alignment with our intentions or visions or the direction that we're going. So now it is up to us to become willing to release and let these choices go, to begin to make new choices, to begin to make higher choices that are in alignment with who I want to be, who we want to be, what we want our lives to be about. So we have the awareness, the willingness, and then comes the intention. The intention to begin making new choices. The intention to begin to cultivate new habits. The intention to begin to move in a different direction. And all of a sudden, even if the choices that I'm perhaps releasing and letting go, even if they are on the surface appear to be small and sort of insignificant, even 1 degree turning of the steering wheel will make a huge difference in where I end up. Even the release and let go of 1 tiny little choice moves us off in a new direction. And when we realize this, when we realize that regardless of circumstances and conditions, regardless of our experiences, regardless of what we think should and should not be in our lives, we have the ability to begin to shift our choices. We have the ability to begin to tweak our choices, to become aware of which do not move us in the direction we want to be moved, and then begin to make choices in alignment with that. And then continue to make choices. So God has not God has not ever put us in a place for us to be in that place, for us to stay in that place for all of eternity. None of us have been given a lot in life that we are to endure or that we are to live with. But we are free beings. We're all free beings with the ability to make choices, with the ability to think independently of any condition, any circumstance, any experience. It is that ability that makes us in the image and the likeness of Spirit. All of creation is in the image of Spirit, reflecting, revealing all of that which God is, but we are in the likeness of God, which means that we do have a reflective consciousness. We have the ability of independent thinking, allowing us to make choices, to think independently. And every single time we think independently, we take charge. We are truly holding on to the steering wheel and turning it in whichever way we want to go. When we're not thinking independently, when we're allowing habit to dictate what we think, when we're allowing the world to dictate what we think, when we identify with whatever content habitually flows through our minds, then it's like we've turned on the autopilot, giving the car or the autopilot permission to move us in whichever direction it was programmed to move us, which not necessarily is always where in the direction we want to go. So every single moment, every single moment truly is a new beginning. And it offers an opportunity for us to make changes, to begin to move in a completely different direction. So thank you so much for tuning in, for participating, and until the next time, I absolutely, as always, I absolutely bless every single one of our days and every single one of our ways. Namaste.